guys, welcome back to Underwater Astrology, giving you the best astrology from the bottom of my heart. Here at Underwater Astrology, we do weekly astrology forecasts. So this week will be from September 25th, 2023 to October 2nd, 2023. We have the beautiful full moon happening on September 29th in the sign Aries, which is in the same sign as the North Node for the collective till January 12th, 2025, and it started July 18th. 2023. So if you're not feeling the fire, you'll be feeling the fire this Friday, September 29th, 2023. Aries rising. The sun in Libra is transiting your 7th house. So, already, sun in Libra, Mars in Libra, transiting your 7th house. You have drive and ego about your relationships. Justice is coming towards your relationships. Who is seeing you in the same light? Pretty much. Are these relationships balanced? Are they working? Yes or no? Libra will tell you immediately. Mercury and Virgo, the survivalists, I like to call this transit, the survivalist, is transiting your 6th house. So you're thinking about like routine and health environment. And it's opposing the 12th house of Neptune and Pisces, which is transiting your 12th house, which is in retrograde, telling me you guys are doing a lot of deep spiritual inner work about your inner understanding of where you want to be. And you guys are really inspired by media, but you guys are becoming more practical about it after that Mercury in retrograde that resolved itself September 15th. So this is 10 days after the Mercury retrograde. You guys are ready to make your dreams practical. But until then, we still have Neptune in retrograde till the end of the year. We have Uranus in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde. These planets are all in retrograde. Uranus will be in Taurus in retrograde till January 27th, 2024. Pluto in Capricorn is in retrograde in your 10th house of the career sector. But it comes out of retrograde 8 days after this astrology week. On the 10th, on Tuesday, Pluto will be in Capricorn, direct in your 10th house, telling me you'll be going through some transformational elements with the structure of your career and just readapting. Capricorn is cardinal, so there will be change when Pluto starts speeding up again, and that will be good change, but it's about understanding and seeing the structures of things so you're not going completely non-hierarchical in your career. There's always hierarchy here, Aries rising for you in your career, and you really need to start adapting to it. North Node in Aries is in your 1st house. It's transiting your 1st house, telling me you guys want to be authentic as possible in these new manifested relationships, but you have to be understanding that these relationships that you're in are meeting you at the level that you're at. And that is what Libra's going to do in the South Node in the 7th house. And for Aries rising, the full moon's in your 1st house, which is going to be about revealing something about how people see you authentically. Let's move forward to Taurus rising. The sun in Libra is transiting your 6th house. Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 5th house. So you here have Mercury Virgo semi-sextiling the sign in Libra, telling me you're focused on love with Mercury and Virgo transiting your 5th house. You're focused on love, focused on your children. If you have children, you're focused on your creative process. But you also, like, your ego is like saying, to be present, I also need to, like, maybe try a new diet, try a new health routine, try a new regimen, change up my work routine or change up my health routine so I can feel a little bit more in that flow of Libra energy, because it's transiting your 6th house, which is all about health, routine, and work environment. With Venus and Leo transiting your 4th house here, trining Mars and Libra, transiting your 6th house, it's going to be about the planet of love and beauty in the house of home life and soul tribe and heightened intuition. That's telling me that you're going to feel like you're on the same wavelength with your work environment, with your health routine. It's all coming together beautifully. Neptune in Pisces is in fact in retrograde in the 11th house. So it's important to understand that Mercury and Virgo transiting your 5th house is opposing Neptune and Pisces in your 11th house, telling me that you're going to be thinking about love, but it's also going to be this deep inner work about your dreams and things. So your mind is going to be on many different things. Uranus in Taurus is transiting your first house, and it's in retrograde as well. So there could be need for inner freedom in how you express yourself. Jupiter in Taurus is here too, so you might find that the best growth comes from looking at what you already have. Pluto in Capricorn is in retrograde till October 10th, and it's in your 9th house. So you're really focused on transforming the structure of your belief systems. North Node Aries in your 12th house, transiting your 12th house. It's all about reconstructing your subconscious mind to bring in higher routine, higher health regimens to be seen more authentically in the collective. For Taurus rising, the full moon is transiting your 12th house. So you're going to be revealed something about your subconscious mind here, and that's going to be healing. Okay, Gemini rising. Sun in Libra is transiting your 5th house. Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 4th house. Venus in Leo is transiting your 3rd house. So, Sun in Libra is coupled up with Mars, not a conjunction, in your 5th house, telling me you're focused on love and romance for some of you. For some of you, you're focused on inner child growth, inner child development, and for some of you, you're focused on your children. And for the rest of you, you're focused on a new creative outlet in your life. Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 4th house, which is opposing Neptune and Pisces in retrograde. So you're feeling all these new developments with your inner growth and how you see yourself. And that's really taking shape in your soul tribe. People are seeing you differently. And you're communicating about this with your closest family, like friends or family people. Uranus is in Taurus, retrograde in the 12th house, meaning you're having a reconstruction about how you see your subconscious mind. Cancer rising. Sun in Libra is transiting your 4th house. This is the time when the Sun and Mars are both transiting your 4th house. You're going to feel a lot of connection to your home life, your family, your soul tribe. Mercury's in Virgo, transiting your 3rd house. So that is semi-sextiling your 4th house, telling me that you guys are getting more practical about communication. For some of you, you're not talking to certain people in your soul tribe anymore. There's been some changes and you feel happier. So stay consistent. Venus in Leo is transiting your 2nd house. So it's about really valuing yourself. Neptune in Pisces is in retrograde in the 9th house, which is opposing Mercury and Virgo transiting your 3rd house. You are going through a renovation of a higher belief system that's deep within to see how you can consciously see how to communicate what you need to develop in line with that. Uranus is in Taurus here in your 11th house, and so is Jupiter. They're both transiting your 11th house. They're both in retrograde. You're both going through an assessment of what's really needed in long-term dreams and what is too just far off. Pluto in Capricorn has been in retrograde in your 7th house. Since May 1st, and it's coming out of retrograde October 10th, 2023. So for Pluto in Capricorn transiting your 7th house, you may have lost a couple of business partnerships or relationships because the structure of it wasn't sturdy enough here at Cancer rising. So we have the full moon transiting your 10th house in Aries, and that is where the North Node is. So maybe something illuminating is happening in your career life. South Node Libra in the 4th house, opposing the full moon as well as the Sun and Mars, telling me you could be having spiritual growth with how you're seen, and that is really healing for you, Cancer rising. For Leo rising, the Sun in Libra is transiting your 3rd house, and that is coupled up with Mars transiting your 3rd house. It's all about short distance travel, siblings, and the psyche. Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 2nd house, which is telling me that you really need to understand the value systems you're creating and stick to them, because Virgo is pragmatic. And because it's semi-sextiling the Sun in Libra, it's telling me that what you save and keep and harvest is actually helping you create more abundance in your short distance travel. For Venus and Leo transiting your first house, you're coming out of any kind of non-authentic version of yourself, just having that retrograde been there this summer for a month and a week. So you guys are learning how to develop a more confident you with Venus still being in Leo transiting your first house. Neptune in Pisces is transiting your 8th house. Uranus in Taurus is transiting your 10th house. Jupiter in Taurus is transiting your 10th house. So Neptune in Pisces transiting your 8th house is in retrograde opposing Mercury in Virgo, telling me you're having this deep, pragmatic understanding that you can't really do you without understanding that there is an infinite supply of whatever you need that is developing your deepest security. And with Mercury in Virgo, it's telling you to get rid of all the addiction, rid of all the extra things that are not applicable, and be really focused. Remember, we also have Saturn. I didn't talk about Saturn for the other signs, but we do have Saturn here in the 8th house. So that is also creating limitations with all these false narratives with other people's resources and intimacy, so you can get to the heart of what really is the highest vibration with the 8th house. For Uranus and Taurus, we won't talk about Saturn. Uranus is in Taurus transiting your 10th house, which is telling me that you guys are wanting so much attention in your career still, but you're going through this spiritual relief where you're like, I know, I have enough. We can move on. And there seems like you want some kind of harboring of more things, but you really have to realize in order to harbor more in your career sector here, Leo rising, you're going to have to expand. Even though it's a retrograde, get out there and expand in your career, because that's what's going to give you the validation here and feel like you're being really seen. And you're going to feel a sense of freedom when you expand. Pluto in Capricorn has been in retrograde since May 1st, 2023, and it comes out of retrograde October 10th, 2023. So that has been in the sector of your 6th house, all to do with health, routine, and environment. You're going to be super aware of how you need to be so empowered by yourself to do the things you want to do here, Leo. Because Leo rising has an inconjunct aspect to Pluto and Capricorn, telling me you're really passionate about your work routine and your work environment and even health, but sometimes it really is the little things with Pluto and Capricorn. It's the little things that bring the structure. The full moon is in the 9th house, September 29th, transiting your 9th house, telling me there may be something revealing illumination here in the 9th house to do with long distance travel, higher education, and higher belief systems. Remember here, though, that we have the Sun and Mars and the South Node in the 3rd house, all three opposing the 9th house, telling me you're going to have to do spiritual growth to achieve higher belief systems, and that will be healing, Leo rising. For Virgo rising, the Sun in Libra is transiting your 2nd house, and so is Mars. So you're having a lot of energy with your value system. And that's really helpful for you because you're like, wow, there's so much more energy here. I feel like I am really valuing myself. Virgo rising. And that's making you confident. With Mercury and Virgo transiting your 1st house, it's really important to realize to make it about yourself here. And that's how you're going to get most of your manifestation of what you need for this week. With Mars and Libra transiting your 2nd house, it is a semi-sextile, telling me that you need to communicate to be seen, felt, heard, and understood. Venus and Leo is transiting your 12th house, telling me that it's really important to still work through the subconscious blocks and develop your sense of self, even in relation to the collective, so you know what you stand for. Neptune is in Pisces, transiting your 7th house in retrograde, opposing Mercury in your 1st house, telling me that there's spiritual growth here with how you're seen in your relationships and how you present yourself. Neptune is in retrograde, and Neptune is in retrograde till the end of the year. Neptune's in retrograde till December 6th. Okay, so this is a long retrograde in your 7th house in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus in retrograde in the 9th house. Jupiter's in Taurus in the retrograde in the 9th house. And then Pluto's in Capricorn in retrograde, transiting your 5th house, which comes out of retrograde October 10th on the Tuesday, telling me that you guys are ready for new love. Some of you ready to start a new project, creative project. For some of you, it could be ready to have children. Something as simple as that. Something as simple, yet something so beautiful and godly. North Node Aries is transiting your 8th house, and the full moon is here, and that's telling me something illuminating is going to happen in your 8th house, which is to do with other people's resources, to do with intimate relationships. Maybe some of you are feeling like there needs to be more spiritual growth here because Sun in Libra and Mars in Libra and the South Node in Libra are in your 2nd house, opposing this full moon in Aries, coupled up with the North Node, telling me whatever spiritual growth you need to do to achieve more access to other people's resources or to achieve more access in these relationships will be healing. For Libra rising, we have Sun in Libra transiting your 1st house. Happy birthday, Libra rising. Happy birthday, Libra. The Sun in Libra is transiting your 1st house, and Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 12th house. Venus and Leo is transiting your 11th house. So being Libra rising, you're ruled by Venus. So it's really about getting out there and being seen in a new group of friends. And understanding that there are people to hang around that are out there that want to hang around with you. And Mars and Libra is transiting your 1st house. So there's a lot of energy to be seen, felt, heard, and understood. The Sun and Mars they're both transiting your 1st house. So you're feeling balanced. For some of you, you're in relationships and you're being seen, and when you're alone, you get to hang out with the relationship, the aspect of your birthday season. Okay, Libra rising. We have Neptune and Pisces transiting your 6th house. And this is telling me that you're going through deep inner development of your work, health environment, and it's opposing Mercury and Virgo in your 12th house. So you're having all this new energy brought to the 12th house to help you. So Neptune and Pisces is inspiring you to get out of self-limiting beliefs here, Libra rising. And Uranus in Taurus is transiting your 8th house, and that's in retrograde. Jupiter's in Taurus in retrograde in your 8th house. Pluto in retrograde is in retrograde in your 4th house, and it comes out of retrograde October 10th. And it's telling me that you guys need to be focused more on, you will be more focused on your home life, and you'll have more energy here to focus on your home life. North Node Aries is transiting your 7th house. So it's telling me that the full moon, North Node Aries, is going to be illuminating you about relationships. South Node in Libra, the Sun and Mars are all transiting your 1st house. So there will be also spiritual growth here in terms of your relationships, and that will be healing. And Libra rising, this is relationships of all kind. Business relationships of all kind. Scorpio rising. The Sun in Libra is transiting your 12th house. Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 11th house. Already on this chart for Scorpio rising this week, I see that you are being called to communicate things that have been brought to you by coworkers or your groups of friends to reevaluate how you treat yourself. Because a lot of you are really hard on yourself and not letting yourself have fun. And with the Sun in Libra transiting your 12th house, it's really about bringing justice to that subconscious mind and being like, where am I not letting the other really help take over when I go too far into the subconscious mind here, Scorpio rising? Because it tells me that a lot of you are really hard on yourself and you just need somebody to balance some of those energies. And it tells me with this chart, Sun in Libra, Mars is here too, telling me you guys are working on how you're being seen in the collective. And you're being supported here too, because we have Venus and Leo transiting your 10th house. So there's already a lot of love and beauty focused on your career sector. Neptune and Pisces is transiting your 5th house, and that's in retrograde, opposing Mercury and Virgo. So that's telling me you're having spiritual growth with how, you're feeling inspired by love and kind of this feeling of creative process, and even for some of you who have children, your connection with your child, or even inner child work, and that's pouring in this inspiration, but it's also opposing Mercury and Virgo in your 11th house, which is like, be more practical, communicate to your friends, like don't stay too isolated here, Scorpio rising. Uranus is in Taurus in retrograde, transiting your 7th house, which is telling me that you guys are really in revision of how you feel free in your business partnerships and relationships of any kind. Jupiter in Taurus is also here in retrograde in your 7th house, telling me that you guys feel free when you're expanding your business partnerships, when you're expanding your relationships. So don't feel so caught in having to end relationships so sporadically all the time, or feeling like you can never really hold anything down with anyone. Rather, do what you need to do to feel safe. Obviously here, Scorpio rising, I'd never doubt that for a second. But I'm saying that it is really good to keep moving forward, even when relationships do not work out. Keep getting out there and keep meeting new business partnerships, other relationships, because that's what's going to give you the freedom here, Scorpio rising. With Pluto and Capricorn transiting your 3rd house in retrograde, coming out of retrograde October 10th, the Tuesday, the 10th, October 10th, it's telling me that you guys are just feeling like you're revising on your communication skills. For some of you, you've had some transformational experiences in short distance travel, or even understanding your psyche. And I want to focus on that the most. You guys are understanding your psyche, and that's what's helping you develop your soul and your character and your personality. And that is what's making you feel so seen. North Node Aries is transiting your 6th house, and the full moon is there as well, showing me that it really is about health routine, and it really is about work environment, and something gets illuminated here for you guys. But it's also opposing the Sun in Libra, Mars in Libra, and the South Node in Libra, transiting your 12th house, telling me that whatever opposition of how you think you are in relation to the collective is being illuminated to how you really are consciously adapting to your own health lifestyle. And so whatever is shedded and has to be detoxified here, Scorpio rising, it happens this full moon, September 29th on the Friday here, to illuminate your conscious mind, to illuminate how you have to grow and change and accept new healthy lifestyles and ways of living, to get out of all the rugged debris of the subconscious mind. And it's healing for you. Sagittarius rising. The Sun in Libra is transiting your 11th house. Mercury in Virgo is transiting your 10th house. Venus in Leo is transiting your 9th house, and Mars in Libra is transiting your 3rd house. Sagittarius rising. The Sun in Libra is transiting your 11th house. You guys are going through such a transformation with your friend group. You are seeing the balance of how you see people and how other people see you, and you're finding the people who see you evenly. With Mercury and Virgo transiting your 10th house, you guys are getting a lot more practical about your career and how you're seen, your public persona. Venus and Leo is transiting your ninth house. So you are coming out of shedding old belief systems, which is trining Mars and Libra in your third house, telling me you guys are getting out of those old belief systems and you guys are grounding a lot more. Sagittarius rising. I'm so proud of you. Neptune in Pisces is in retrograde in your fourth house, which is all to do about home life, heightened intuition, and soul tribe. Right? So it's really about understanding like that opposition to Mercury and Virgo is telling me you guys are going to have spiritual growth with the inspiration that comes from your family, your soul tribe, your heightened intuition that's pouring inspiration from you, from the Piscean constellation, because Neptune is there. And it's opposing Mercury and Virgo. So you're becoming more practical about your inspiration, which is really, really spiritual growth here at Sagittarius rising. Uranus and Taurus is in retrograde in the seventh house. So you're finding that you're going through, Then we have for Sagittarius rising, Uranus and Taurus transiting your sixth house in retrograde. Jupiter and Taurus in sixth house, transiting your sixth house in retrograde. Telling me that you guys are really going through a revision of your health, your work environments, and your routine. Here with Uranus in retrograde, it's pointing to Jupiter. Basically, I've been saying to all the other 11 zodiac signs, go to Jupiter, expand whatever Jupiter and Taurus is interacting with. So if it's here in your health, work environment and health routine, then try a new health routine and see how that is giving you the rejuvenation, the life force that you also need, Sagittarius rising, to do what you do best. And that is staying extremely present in your reality with your family and friends. I think it's important here to understand that Pluto in Capricorn is transiting your second house, and that is coming, and that's in retrograde, and that's coming out of retrograde. Woohoo! October 10th on a Tuesday. So that's going to be really exciting for you guys, Sagittarius rising. And that is going to be about empowering yourself. You're going to realize how to really empower yourself. The full moon is on September 29th on the Friday, and that is aspecting the North Node Aries in the fifth house. So the full moon is, in fact, in Aries transiting your fifth house. Maybe there is something here illuminating you guys about love, your love relationships, your children, or maybe your creative process here. Sun in Libra, Mars in Libra, and South Node in Libra here, all transiting your 11th house. 11th house opposing your North Node in Aries, transiting your fifth house. There's just so much fire here for you guys from the North Node Aries. It's pointing to spiritual growth about your friend groups. You need to spiritually grow out of the people who are no longer for you and focus more on your children, your creative process, and your partnerships. There's no need to bring in people who are just not seeing eye to eye with you here, Sagittarius rising. And that is a healing process for you. For Capricorn rising, Sun in Libra is transiting your 10th house. And that's coupled up with Mars. So for you, Capricorn rising, you have the Sun here coupled up with Mars transiting your 10th house. So this is a time where you guys are going to feel like you really know how to present yourself. Mercury in Virgo is in transiting your 9th house, opposing Neptune in Pisces, telling me you're getting inspiration from communication. Maybe some of you guys are a little like still not communicating, still not answering the phone, still not really projecting yourself in communication at all, or short distance travel, or even with your siblings. So there's a bit of a non-existent personality energy happening, but it's opposing Mercury. So maybe by this week, you're getting more practical with your belief system, and you're learning how to maybe be the survivalist in your belief system and test some new belief systems out. But you're Capricorn rising. You kind of already know that You're the survivalist. With Mercury and Virgo transiting your ninth house, you already know that it's already a survivalist placement, and in your ninth house, telling me that you guys are going to be super pragmatic because it's trining Capricorn, or even Capricorn rising, or both, telling me that you have such harmonious energy to stay aligned with who you are here, Capricorn rising. So then we have Venus and Leo, in fact, transiting your eighth house, telling me that you guys are going to be going through some spiritual transformation to do with love. Some of you guys have been going through this spiritual transformation with your intimate lover, or some of you guys have been going through a spiritual transformation of how you see other people's resources. So that's been really exciting for you. Uranus is in retrograde in the fifth house. And in fact, Jupiter in Taurus is in retrograde in the fifth house, telling me that you guys are going to need to find freedom in expanding your love life, or expanding your connection with your children for some of you, or for some of you, just expanding your creative process. It's that simple. Pluto in Capricorn is transiting your first house, but it's in retrograde. Woohoo, Pluto in Capricorn. But now it's going through coming out. So now Pluto in retrograde is going out of retrograde October 10th on a Tuesday, to remind you, to show you you've done so much spiritual growth here since 2008 when it was first started transiting Pluto in Capricorn. You're a completely different person. Nobody could take that away from you here, Capricorn rising, and embody that energy and really learn how to manifest with Pluto and have harmonious energy with Pluto. The full moon, in fact, is on September 29th, later this week on a Friday, transiting your fourth house, coupled up with the North Node in Aries. So the full moon is in Aries, telling me that something will be illuminated in your fourth house sector to do with home life, family, and soul tribe. Remember, there's an opposition here with the Sun in Libra, Mars in Libra, and the South Node in Libra in 10th house, opposing your North Node in Aries in fourth house, where the full moon will aspect in Aries, transiting your fourth house, telling me there will be spiritual growth with how people see you and how you're seen in your family. And that will be really an important thing to remember, because it will be healing for you, Capricorn rising. For Aquarius rising, the Sun in Libra is in fact transiting your ninth house, coupled up with Mars. It's not a conjunct, but we both have Sun and Mars here transiting your ninth house, telling me that you're really adamant about your belief system. Being Aquarius rising that you are, you're very unique in your belief system. With Mercury and Virgo transiting your eighth house, you're really learning how to accept other people's resources and be kind to yourself with that. And that's really beautiful. For some of you, you are being more kind in your intimate relationships and how you communicate to these people. Venus and Leo is transiting your seventh house, which is telling me that you have some beautiful aspects with this opposition with Venus and Leo to your Sun in Aquarius, or Aquarius rising, or both for some of you, telling me that you guys are going through a lot of spiritual growth in your partnerships and business partnerships. And that's bringing a lot of beauty and spiritual growth here. Aquarius rising, you should be proud of yourself. Neptune in Pisces is transiting your second house in retrograde, opposing the Mercury and Virgo transiting your eighth house, telling me you are in fact being inspired by how you see yourself in your second house. There's a lot of inspiration of where you think you could go, how the energies are benefic here with Neptune, but it's in retrograde, telling me there is spiritual growth here and spiritual optimism with how you value yourself, but it's important to be practical about it. With Mercury transiting Virgo, it is the survivalist transit here, telling me you are really going to have to be practical about, again, searching for grants, searching for jobs for some of you, searching for, people, even for some of you, new relationships. There's just a relationship energy that's very abundant here for you to really grasp. The universe is giving you that. We also have Uranus in retrograde transiting your fourth house, and Uranus in retrograde in Taurus transiting your fourth house, and Jupiter in retrograde transiting your fourth house in Taurus. So with both of these retrogrades, it's important to realize that it is important to expand your soul tribe. Keep searching for people that ground you. So for some of you in your immediate reality, people that are really close to you. So that will keep you in that earthly element of Taurus. Pluto's in Capricorn transiting your 12th house, and that is in retrograde, and that comes out of retrograde October 10th on a Tuesday. So you guys, again, will be renovating those behind the scenes projects that you're working on so they can come to light at a later date. Some of you are really bringing in that magic in the 12th house to work through those subconscious blocks of things you need to manifest for you to live the most abundant, most Aquarius rising life. The North Node is in Aries, transiting your 3rd house, and the full moon will be transiting your 3rd house in Aries September 29th, this Friday. So get ready for what that illuminates for your 3rd house sector, which is all to do with siblings, short distance travel, and the psyche. Remember that the Sun in Libra is transiting your 9th house, with Mars in Libra transiting your 9th house, with the South Node transiting your 9th house. So this is all opposing the North Node and the full moon in Aries and the North Node in Aries, telling me there will be spiritual growth with how you communicate, how you are with your siblings, and even your short distance travel, which will be healing for you, Aquarius rising. For Pisces rising, the Sun is in Libra is transiting your 8th house. Mercury in Virgo here is transiting your 7th house. Venus in Leo is transiting your 6th house. So for Pisces rising, you guys are in a season where you're feeling like it's easier to open up and be intimate with people and have more intimate relationships. Also, gain access to other people's resources. With Mercury transiting Virgo, you're getting really practical about your business partnerships. The pragmatism is really reaching these business partnerships, and you're being admired for your pragmatism. Remember, Venus in Leo is really making you confident about your work environment here, and that is semi-sextiling your Mercury in Virgo. So you are understanding that there is love and beauty in your work environment, and you really want to be more practical about that with the way you talk to people with Mercury in Virgo transiting your 7th house. You really want to bring that energy of what you know to your business partnerships. Mars in Libra is transiting your 8th house, telling me that the Sun and Mars here are both in your 8th house, so you're feeling confident in being intimate with other people and gaining access to other people's resources, and that's really happening easy. And that's really happening easy here for you, Pisces rising. Remember, Neptune in Pisces is in retrograde in your 1st house, opposing Mercury in Virgo transiting your 7th house, telling me you're going through a lot of spiritual growth, and that takes a lot of compassion, and the compassion to yourself is then being seen by your business partnerships and relationships of all kind. Uranus is in Taurus transiting your 3rd house, and Jupiter is in Taurus transiting your 3rd house, and both of these signs are in Taurus in retrograde, telling me that it is important to reach out to people. It is important to continue short distance travel. It is important to understand your relationship to your siblings, to your psyche, so that you can understand that this is a retrograde and these retrogrades will be happening. For example, Uranus will be in retrograde till January 27th of 2024, and Jupiter will be in retrograde till December 30th of 2023. So you're working with this retrograde energy. Pluto's in Capricorn and retrograde currently in your 11th, transiting your 11th house, but it comes out of retrograde October 10th on a Tuesday. So you'll be feeling more connected to your dreams, aspirations. There'll be more energy here for you to practically build structure in your dreams and aspirations, which is exciting for you, Pisces rising. Remember, the full moon is on Friday, September 29th in Aries, transiting remember, the full moon is in Aries, transiting your 2nd house here on the Friday, September 29th, aspecting the North Node Aries, so you will be thinking about your value system. Something here will be illuminating how you value yourself, your value system of any nature. Remember, the Sun in Libra, Mars in Libra, and South Node Libra are all transiting your 8th house, which is in opposition to this full moon and the North Node in Aries, telling me that there will be spiritual growth here to your value system, and that will be healing for you, Pisces rising. Happy full moon to all 12 zodiac signs this Friday, September 29th in Aries. Hope you guys stay tuned for the next astrology reading for the next week. Namaste. Much love. Underwater Astrology.